Hello world, I'm Chris Perillo, and this is the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of tech news, gadget views, and answers that you can use. And today's Locker Gnome Daily Report is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces, the powerfully simple way to meet online from anywhere. With GoToMeeting, you can share your screen and collaborate on files and programs with your team, all while seeing each other in HD video. Easily launch or join a meeting using your computer, phone, or tablet, even present from your iPad. I use GoToMeeting to communicate with my Vlogger Fair team, and we will have registration for Vlogger Fair open this week. I hope. Stay tuned for more information on that. If you want to try GoToMeeting, head over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Perillo. Plus, one of you will receive this iPad and the opportunity to have a 30-minute GoToMeeting with me that will also be shared in this YouTube channel. All you have to do to enter is tell me what you'd like to talk about in our GoToMeeting, propose your idea on Twitter using the hashtag PerilloiPad, and the hashtag GoToMeeting to qualify. I'm off to South by Southwest today. Hopefully, I'll see you there. I'm having a party with AMD tomorrow night, the night of the 7th. Everybody is invited. Be sure to RSVP. I've been tweeting out that link and posting it to the Facebook page. Hopefully, you've been following along. So I wanted to answer a few questions today in the TLDR, and I hope to do TLDRs even when I'm on the road in Austin, Texas. I will do my best. I don't know how bandwidth's going to be down there. Can the Surface Pro replace my desktop home PC, asks Cameron Primrose. And my answer is yes, it can. Well, of course, depending on your desktop PC. I mean, if it's a beast, then I doubt it could replace it. But if you're looking for a good Windows 8 machine, I think the Surface Pro is going to be able to handle most of what you're throwing at it or what you plan on throwing at it. It's ample in terms of power, certainly portability, and I think in terms of the performance that you would be expecting on a desktop PC, it would do just fine. In fact, I would be shocked if you used it and thought, oh, this isn't powerful enough to do the things that I want to do. In fact, a lot of people waited for the Surface Pro to be released because they were thinking, well, that's going to be better than the Surface with Windows RT, or now known as Surface RT. In fact, in related news, another question that was asked by Phil Shame, is Windows RT worth it? And if you were to ask me, no, it's not. Despite it saving money on those PCs, it's just not ready for prime time. In fact, Microsoft has been, trying to encourage OEMs to drop their prices to make a Windows RT computer more attractive, even Windows 8 computer more attractive, because apparently they're not selling that well. And Samsung today said that they're going to be pulling back on selling Windows RT computers in Germany because sales have been so horrendous. So I don't think Windows RT is for anybody right now, and I hate to say that, but maybe for you, but just no. You're better off with Windows 8 at the point where you're ready to buy a Windows RT machine. And I hate to say that, but it's just true. Windows RT just needs more time to bake. That's my opinion. I don't think anybody in this community is going to disagree with me. Another question here from Brandon J. How do I convert my music to a lossless codec? Depends. If you're starting with an MP3 file, it's pointless to convert it to a lossless codec because you've already compressed it. Like if you're starting with like the raw digital music, then you could like convert it to FLAC, so long as you've got the ability to play back a FLAC file on your platform of choosing. But if you're starting with an already compressed file, it is pointless. It's like having a super compressed JPEG and then converting it to PNG. It's why? It's already lost data. Converting it and trying to make it look better or sound better in this case is pointless. You can't go from lossy to lossless. You can go from lossless to lossy though. Question here from Air Vic. Office for iPad. I have not seen it, but if I were to have seen it, I couldn't even say anything about it. I think it's going to happen. Certainly would be a part of that Office 365 experience. Look at how Microsoft set the stage for Office 365, this $99 a year subscription, which I think is worth it if you are interested in Office programs like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I think that it will come, hopefully sooner rather than later. And here's the thing. If Microsoft does what I think they're going to do, I think the iPad-optimized version of Office is going to work better than the Office for Windows 8 because they put the Office, or the new version of Office on Windows 8 in the classic desktop environment. Even though it's still kind of optimized for touch, it just kind of looks like a kludge on a touchscreen computer running Windows 8 compared to what I believe would be a little more refined on the iPad. Microsoft's done a really good job with OneNote on the iPad. They've done a good job with Bing on the iPad. In fact, I've said it before, even in TLDR, that Bing for iPad is better than the Bing.com website in general. Question here, what apps do you use the most in your smartphone? And this was asked by Juan Castim 135. You know, as more time goes on, I find myself using the basic apps, the web browser, email, social networking, certainly, like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram. And beyond that, I don't do much more than that. Some games, yes, certainly, and listening to music, but I think it's really the web browser that's my primary usage in a smartphone. It's my gateway to the internet. And, of course, email, which I use all the time. My email address, chris@perillo.com. Oh, by the way, all these questions brought to you by GoDaddy. If you want to save money on your GoDaddy purchase, just email me. I'll send you my latest list of coupons. Ready boost and paging file on a RAM disk. Will this help? Asks Crimson Duke. Well, I used Ready Boost for a number of years when the option was first made available, and I can't say that it helped all that much. And putting a paging file in a RAM disk is also not going to help because the paging file is used when your computer runs out of physical memory. It might help somewhat to kind of trick it, and you could get some speed performance, but you're probably better off at this point with asking these questions, upgrading your system to an SSD instead of relying on a traditional hard drive or maybe one of those hybrid drives, and just going full solid state and being good with that. Ready Boost might help, but I didn't really see much difference. Did you guys, if you ever used Ready Boost, did you see much of a difference in using it? I guess maybe I was using it wrong. I plugged in the USB drive that was compatible with it. Windows saw it as a Ready Boost drive, and it was meh. Wasn't really worth it to me. Lestat611 asks, are color laser printers better than inkjet? You know, I used to swear by color laser jets, and even laser jets in general, because I had so many problems with inkjets early on in the day, and, when inkjets were first made available, and certainly very affordable. They kind of sucked. Fast forward a few years, and I've been very, very happy with a color inkjet. Not only is the ink a bit more affordable, it's much, I don't have to deal with toner, which I guess there are health problems that have surrounded that, especially if you're in an environment with a lot of toner flying around the air. I have, as my primary machine, an Air Print enabled, Google Print enabled inkjet printer that uses ink, and it's fast, it's clean, it's efficient, not just in terms of ink but also in power. So I don't know if I would say that color laser jets are necessarily better than inkjet, unless of course you're printing off something that needs a supreme amount of sharpness and you've got high quality paper that was designed to be printed in laser jets. Otherwise, I think most people these days are going to be happy enough with inkjets. Best value computer, Windows 7 or Windows XP, asks FMA Fan XIII. That would be, is it 13 XIII? A Windows XP computer is probably a good value computer because it's going to get done what you need to get done. What do you need to get done? It depends, right? But I think you could probably find a Windows XP computer at a much more affordable rate than a Windows 7 computer. Now, if you're looking at two computers and they're spec'd similarly, and one's running Windows 7, one's running Windows XP, if they're priced similarly, I would probably push you towards the Windows 7 machine over XP, if only because it's newer. There's been a lot of security patches applied, of course, to both operating systems, but just if I were to choose between Windows XP and Windows 7 is like a slightly more refined Windows XP. Still got a few UI quirks that they, by the way, really cleaned up in the desktop mode on Windows 8. Still not out of the woods yet in terms of a good, clean, cohesive experience on the Windows desktop, but I think Microsoft will eventually get there if they continue with that paradigm. Best value computer is probably going to be Windows XP unless price is the same, then go for Windows 7. Not really much else to report right now. Again, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas this week, and then after that, coming home and then flying out to New York to host the Hack the Kitchen events. So if you live in New York or Austin, hopefully we'll be able to meet up in those two places, and not in those two places, then possibly out here in Seattle for Vlogger Fair. Again, registration will hopefully be up soon. We've got a top list of participants. As I mentioned in the Perillo vlog, I will be vlogging as I do every day for you, and hopefully you appreciate everything that I'm doing, even when you can't meet up with me in person. Maybe one day. We'll see you later.